Welcome to the Court of Public Opinion. Pete's here, Gary's here, and you're here, and I thank you for that. I hope you enjoy this posting, and we have a show tomorrow, easy listening. Well, I can't call it easy listening. It's heated and somewhat disruptive from time to time. Everyone talks over it. We're going to deal with that.
After about 11 it becomes a party atmosphere.
It gets a bit chaotic. Live streaming, Jeremy Cordeaux around the dining room table, jeremycordeaux.com, with guests. Who's going to be there tomorrow? Frank Pengello's going to be there, Professor Ian Plimer, John Bruni, Dr. John Bruni from Sage International. All sorts of interesting stuff. And you can ring up 0491 65 68 60. Now, none of this is going to be easy on this newly minted Australian federal opposition, the Liberal Party. But, as I said to you the other day, they are making the right noises. But we need more than noise. More concentration on unity, less on diversity, assimilation, not multiculturalism. With immigration, we have to protect Australian values, and we have to restore our standard of living, which has slipped alarmingly. And we've got to do it as quickly as possible. Or they've got to do it as quickly as possible. Jane Hume was on the Insiders this past Sunday. I don't know if you saw it. And I know it's early days. They haven't even had a shadow cabinet meeting yet. A bit early to quiz her on policy details, but she can't be seen to be, well, none of them can, pussyfooting around. She is deputy leader, but all of the Libs must be decisive. No word games. The let's not rock the boat. No, let's see which way the wind is blowing. I know. Let's have a meeting. Call in a focus group. No. Look, we want you to rock the boat. We need you to rock the boat. Immigration, well, it's going to be a contentious but important part of that which we will be talking about probably right up until and including the next election. Immigration to me is simple. We take a breather. No more than 100,000 all up, and that could be made up of all the different visa types. But preferably skilled people, skilled in the areas we need. You will, of course, respect our values. Assimilation is a condition of citizenship. No welfare. No more Lakemba suburbs that become no-go zones for Australians. Childcare will not expose our 3-year-old kids to left-wing indoctrination. Hiring a nanny should be a deductible option for a parent. Gas producers will be hit with an export tax. Imagine we sell our gas to another country cheaper than we can buy it ourselves, and then they on-sell it, the gas, at a considerable profit. Who thought that was a good idea? Now, Jane stuffed around with that on the Insiders. No, we won't be raising taxes. We are the party of lower taxes. No, we won't be raising taxes. Yes, okay, look, I get it. But this is not raising taxes. It's using taxes to reprioritise the use of our finite natural resources. Some random thoughts, ladies and gentlemen. Every member of this new shadow cabinet should get a copy of the Laffer curve, which explains perfectly how the tax system should be used by government, not abused by government. If you choose to take out private health insurance, the premiums should be tax deductible. If you choose to send your child to a private school, the fees should be tax deductible. In both cases, you're taking a burden off the taxpayer. You should be encouraged to do so. As an encouragement for the government to live within its means, inflation will be tax deductible. In other words, because your savings and my savings are being eaten away because of government spending and policies, which of course push up inflation, the money you've lost should be tax deductible. And when that little policy starts to bite, government might realise the real cost to them of incompetence and wasting money. We should have that law that they've just passed in Wales. Wales. In Parliament, no one will be allowed to tell a lie, or gloss, as they call it. I love that word, gloss. No, I'm not lying, I'm just glossing. That's amazing. No lies, no glossing. David Spears didn't ask Jane Hume for Liberal Party policy on all of these points, but she has to go into an interview like that expecting he might. You don't have to have the answers, but you have to have opinions. This is how to do it. If I gave it some thought, I could do it better. But look, David, your questions touch on tax, education, energy and foreign policy. I'm the deputy leader, I'm not the shadow minister for everything. But if you're asking for my opinion, well, that's very different, I'll give you that. Unless, of course, if you're a politician, it becomes necessary to check everything you say with head office before you say it, and who the hell could live with that? The first dedicated plan to end Aboriginal domestic violence, which gets worse and worse. Now, don't get me wrong, we need to stop violence against women and children. We do. Aboriginal women are 7 times more likely to be murdered, 7 times, and 27 times more likely to be hospitalised. There are hundreds of dedicated organisations, thousands of social workers, billions of dollars that have gone into fixing this problem. It simply gets worse. Tanya Plibersek, the Minister, turns up and announces that another $218 million will be spent. The money will go to 240 existing Aboriginal organisations. Be rubbing their hands together, wouldn't they? Where's the opposition? This is stupid. It's clear that more money will do nothing. But that's always Labor's solution. Spend, 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 spend. Not their money, they don't care. Let me tell you what the problem is. It is cultural. Now, you see, you couldn't say this on the ABC. You wouldn't say it on the ABC. In other media, probably the same. But right here, I say what I believe. And funnily enough, I think it's what you believe as well. The problem is cultural. This is how many Aboriginal men behave. It is in their DNA and has been for generations. That's not to say it is not in white people's DNA as well. Alcohol makes it worse, of course. In regional communities and the outback, the situation is terrible, terrible. But money will make no difference. The Aboriginal budget is already way out of proportion for the size of the population. 3% of the population take up more than we spend on defence, beaten only by the equally outrageous NDIS. Again, where is the opposition? Most of the enormous amount of money that is allocated to Aboriginal problems never reaches the Aboriginals. What government does is to add to the bureaucracy, the Aboriginal industry. The money never reaches the people, particularly the women and children. For Tanya Plibersek to announce this new spend as the first dedicated plan to end Aboriginal domestic violence is, to me, quite incredible. I mean, I've been talking about this as a talking point on this program and other programs that I can remember going back to when I started at 2GB. So they're trying to say that all those 218 organisations to which you have given this extra money to fix the problem have been doing what? For all these years. What have they been doing? Twiddling their thumbs. They don't have a clue or a plan. And from what I heard at the announcement, there is no plan, just a new allocation of money, which I think experience should show you is not the answer. And the annual close the gap crap, that's another $300 million announcement. This is all within 2 weeks. 2 days later, the Prime Minister had another announcement, that was on Friday, $85 million on the anniversary of the apology to the stolen generation, to help those people who, in my opinion, were rescued, not stolen. This, ladies and gentlemen, just goes on and on and on and on. What do you think? When you look at your electricity bill, or you survey your general cost of living, government has been told, even by the Reserve Bank, to stop spending. Their spending is not only reckless, it's needless, out of control and stupid. And they seem to be getting away with it. This is the government who tolerates the CFMEU and the NDIS. Economic vandalism. Not a peep out of the media or the opposition. Yet, I have faith, or is it hope, in Angus Taylor. Just on the CFMEU and the relationship between Labor and the union movement, it's a master-servant relationship, you know. The unions are the masters, of course. I'll give you another example. I reckon this is pretty scandalous. You know, we're in the middle of a housing crisis. We just aren't building enough houses, and they're too expensive, unaffordable for many. A Western Australian company, listed company, called Fast Brick Robotics, started up with some pretty amazing technology. The Hadrian X robot, I believe, developed by FBR Limited, capable of building a standard house in as little as 1 or 2 days. This is a robot. It lays bricks or blocks or stone. Its peak operating speed is approximately 500 bricks per hour. It operates between 360 and 500 bricks per hour, which is significantly faster than doing it by hand. Now, this company is struggling with a product that should be in great demand. It's not only timely, it's cheap. Can you imagine the savings that can be made with a system like this? Revolutionary! It would cut tens of thousands of dollars off the cost of building a house. You'd imagine they'd be run off their feet supplying these amazing pieces of technology, but no! Do you know why? Well, let me tell you. In Western Australia, the state from which this particular company hails, so it's only natural that they got started there. Western Australia, we got a Labor government. Canberra, we got a Labor government. In fact, they're all over the bloody country. And robots don't pay taxes. Brickies pay income tax. The construction company, or the building company, they pay payroll tax. They're all in for the chop, you know. More importantly, the trade union movement, I don't know if it's the CFMEU, but that's the construction union, so I think it would be pretty logical. They have simply said, no. You will go on building houses or anything you want, taking months, costing tens of thousands of dollars more, because we say so. You're not going to put our members out of work by allowing this technology to take over the bricklaying trade? Ladies and gentlemen, it's amazing. And instead of the government saying, our first priority is the people, housing is a priority for the people, cheap, affordable housing built efficiently and quickly, saving tens of thousands of dollars, I tell you, we'll go with that. But no, Labor can't. No, they can't do that because the union masters say they're not allowed to. A company that should be thriving has just seen its share price go through the floor. They can't get customers. It is absolutely shameful. Australia should not be a closed shop to new ideas. A whole bunch of bricklayers who are working with old-fashioned, back-breaking manual labour and taking an age to build a brick wall, or you can have a machine that will do it in a couple of minutes at a fraction of the price. That should be the priority for any government. Look it up. It used to be called Fast Brick Robotics. It's now called FBR Limited. That's a company that should be worth an absolute fortune on the stock market. Do these people really think they can hold back the future? And I've said it many times on this podcast and on the Friday morning program. It's the future, and we can't do much about it. AI is going to really change everything and every job we have. We have to adapt. That's what humans do. We evolve. Ah, boy. Forgive the rant. February the 19th, happy birthday or happy wedding anniversary. Few dates. 1906, Will Keith Kellogg joins Charles D. Boland in founding the Battle Creek Toasted Cornflake Company, now the multinational food manufacturer Kellogg's, after falling out with his brother. Oh yeah, there were two brothers, weren't there? One of them wanted to put sugar in the cereal, and the other one didn't. Will went on to do Kellogg's cornflakes, and the other brother went on to start Sanitarium, which was a different sort of, I don't know. Sanitarium. Cornflakes sounds better, doesn't it?
Absolutely. And they've got sugar in them.
Cornflakes, yeah, that's why it tastes better. Everything in the world tastes better with sugar and bacon. Sorry. Nicolas Baudin. Nicolas Baudin, the French explorer, led a survey of the coast, a cartographic survey of the coast of Australia. Born in France, he died in 1803, but he was born in France on this day in 1754. 4-year-old Charlotte May Pierstoff. What? Mailed by train from Granville, Ohio, to her grandparents' house, 73 miles away, in the most famous Child in the Post instance. From this day on, in 1914, you are not allowed to post your children. What a downer.
Or freeze them.
Well, you know, they've just upped the price of an ordinary letter in Australia. People are sending fewer and fewer letters by mail. So what does Australia Post do? They lift the price of a stamp. It's $1.85. No, it's up to $1.80 or something.
Really?
It really is. Can you imagine what it would cost today to send one of the kids across town?
Be cheaper to take an Uber.
Imagine that. Posting your children. I love it. I love it, I love it, I love it. I don't know how the kid would have thought. That was back in 1914. Lee Marvin, American actor, Paint Your Wagon. Cat Ballou, born New York City, 1924. Lee Marvin. Nicholas Copernicus, Polish mathematician, astronomer, who theorized that planets revolved around the sun. Born in Kingdom of Poland, 1473. Paul McCartney, his girlfriend Jane Asher, Ringo Starr and his wife Maureen travelled to India, joining John Lennon, George Harrison and their wives to study transcendental meditation for 2 months with the Maharishi Mahesh Yogi at his ashram. Ringo stayed for 3 days.
That's where they wrote the famous song, The Fool on the Hill.
Fool on the Hill? Really?
Well, that's what it's about.
Oh, well, I don't think they were sending up the Maharishi.
No, but that's what they came away with.
Oh, yes, yes, yes. They all ended up looking a bit like him. He was obviously very influential.
George was totally besotted.
1968 was the year. This was the day. King Hussein of Jordan severs ties with the PLO. Golly. 1986. Karl Lagerfeld, German fashion designer. Fendi, Chanel, dies at the age of 85. Some dispute his age, I don't know why. 2019 was the year. Nazi hunter Simon Wiesenthal of Austria is awarded an honorary British knighthood in recognition for a lifetime of service to humanity. 2004. Merle Oberon, who for years was rumoured to have been born in Tasmania, I believe. Merle Oberon, British actress, That Uncertain Feeling, Wuthering Heights. She was actually born in Bombay, British India, in 1911. She died 1979. 1945, the US Fifth Fleet launches an invasion of Iwo Jima against the Japanese with 30,000 US Marines. That was one of the most bloody conflicts, and you will see it commemorated in memorials all over America. The hoisting of the flag was enormously costly. The casualties on Iwo Jima were horrendous. And that shot with the Marines crowded around the flag and one man pushing the flag up. Its statues, its photographs, its drawings, its all sorts of things. But nothing probably symbolises the courage of the American soldier more than that classic picture. Do I have time for one more? Mary Anderson, American real estate developer and inventor of the first effective windshield wiper. What did they do before 1866? Well, they probably didn't have too many windshields.
Do you know what they used to do, Jeremy?
What?
They'd get a potato, they'd cut the potato in half and they'd rub it over the windscreen and it wouldn't retain water.
How did they discover that?
I have no idea.
Who would ever be drunk enough to say, I know, I'm going to get a potato, cut it in half and put it on the windscreen?
It worked.
Must have been trial and error. They should have.
They were hand operated.
Well, they could have used spinach or
potatoes.
watermelon or
Potato was to hand.
and all right. Anyway, she died, Mary Anderson, that is, hardly commemorated, but for her wonderful invention. But there you go. Born in Greene County, Alabama, died in 1953, but born this day in 1966. Mary Anderson, on a rainy, cold, wet, miserable night, when we turn the windscreen wipers on, we remember you.
Cut the potatoes in.
No. I'll go with the windscreen wipers. Thank you. These days, of course, they turn themselves on automatically. I wonder what she would make of that breakthrough. Thanks for being with us. We'll see you tomorrow. We'll be there between 9 o'clock and 12 around the dining room table. JeremyCordeaux.com. And you can get us on, what's that app we use?
Simple Radio.
Simple Radio. And you can download that. Free download. You can download that. I find that very good. Interesting guests, conversation, phone calls, a little bit of music, and God knows what surprises. Thank you for viewing the Court of Public Opinion. I'm Jeremy Cordeaux. Believe in yourself, and bye for now.